What's up, everyone? McJibbin here, coming back. I'm super excited today. I'm super happy because my last Salmonella Academy reaction video, it got a like. And thank you so much, whoever that was. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If I can get now 2 likes on this one, I'm super motivated now. I'm ready to go. Can't wait to watch another Salmonella video. If I can get 2 likes on this one, please, please. Maybe a subscription. I don't know, maybe. That's up to you. Definitely, if you don't subscribe to me or whether or not, please, please subscribe to Salmonella Academy. He is so great. He hasn't done a few videos. His last video was like in January of 2020, so like a year ago. He usually does them like every 3 months. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know, but just give him a subscription. And anyways, let's go. Let's get right into it. I've seen probably like 50% of his videos. Maybe if I see one where I've already seen and I liked it so much, maybe I'll do another reaction to it just for fun. But let's do another one. Let's get straight into it. The Wild World of Inuit Folklore. So we know it's gonna be funny. Let's see what it has to teach us. Let's go right into it.
Hey kids, from clubbing seals to inventing new compound nouns for snow, nobody knows how to kick it quite like the Inuit. Of course, if you're a close-minded tree dweller like me, you might initially think that they can't be that good at storytelling, given that they only know about like 6 things. But that's not true. They've actually got an incredibly complex and fascinating oral tradition. You could ask one about it, there's plenty of these guys around today, but they've got Jesus and microwaves and shit, and that's boring. We want to talk about the stuff from before missionaries came and sent their miserable way of life to a farm upstate. So instead, let a 20-year-old college kid who's never lived outside of Delaware tell you all about it. Obvious disclaimer, Inuits are super diverse. Calling a caribou Inuit a copper Inuit is like calling a copper caribou a caribou caribou. Sure, they both look the same from far away, but when a thunderstorm hits, you better know which one to hide under. As such, while most of the following can be applied in broad terms to most Inuits, the little details come from a variety of subcultures that don't necessarily represent the whole. Got it? Swank. Got it. Now, a lot of the world's faiths are centered around bringing people together and inspiring them with stories and images of the divine, so as to give them a wider sense of purpose here on Earth. That's all well and good, but that whole search for greater meaning thing only really comes into play once your original purpose of making sure you don't die is pretty much figured out. Not so for the Inuit. You see, it ain't so easy living in a place where plants can't grow and being naked for an hour means certain death. As such,
They don't eat plants. Oh my god. So they're carnivores. They only eat like seals, and they don't have like a seaweed substitute. And that's fine. They can just do that? Cool.
their beliefs were a little more practical, being more so geared towards fostering the paranoid levels of fear required to survive in such a hostile environment. For example, the Inuit believed that everyone has a sort of life force or soul, what they called anirnik, and like plenty of religions, they believed it lived on after death and could meddle in the world of mortals. But while most cultures regard animals as being spiritually inferior meat puppets, to the Inuits, a creature's soul is just as powerful and vengeful as that of a person. And like I said, up there in the Arctic, not much greenery in the scenery, so they basically had no choice but to devour nothing but souls every—
I was gonna say, does that include like insects? Like if I step on a bug, but I don't even know if they see insects. I mean, there gotta be a ton of mosquitoes in the summer, right? So if you kill a mosquito, anyways, I'm getting—
single day. And wouldn't you know it, souls don't much care for getting ate. So the Inuit made sure to follow a complex set of guidelines on how to placate their prey in the afterlife, lest the pissed off ghost of that Arctic tern whispers sweet nothings into a polar bear's ears and turns your whole village into a big Japanese flag by sunrise. Here's a few. If you kill something, make sure you eat it all. Just as an American who doesn't clean his plate doesn't get dessert, an Inuit who doesn't eat all his walrus doesn't get any more walrus.
That's right.
Ever. Till they starve. If you kill a polar bear, make sure to point its head towards the direction it came from so it can find its way home more easily. If you pull a seal out of the water, give him some fresh water so he's not thirsty when you bash his brain in. Also, its spirit lives in its bladder, so make sure to hold on to it until the yearly bladder festival, where everyone gets together, blows up their bladders like balloons, and throws them out to sea so they can reincarnate.
I know I'm gonna have a sort of like judgy kind of look on my face. I know if I looked into any of the crazy practices of religions around America or wherever, you'd see some crazy stuff. But this, actually, it's pretty standard.
into new seals. These taboos aren't all just about hunting though. For some reason there's a load of them about pregnancy. Don't make fun of people's facial features or else the baby will have the same features.
Whoa.
Don't walk backwards or else the baby will come out backwards. Dangerous. Face your bed towards a doorway or it'll come out sideways. Also dangerous. Don't wrap rope around your hand or it'll come out with the
Okay, I understand, it's hard to, discount or disprove any, like, well, is the soul of that bear pleased that before I eat it or something, but didn't they ever, like, oh, hey, I made fun of someone's facial features and my baby came out fine. Like, didn't they ever see some inconsistencies and be like, hey, maybe that's not
umbilical cord around its neck, extremely dangerous. Don't drink directly from a soup bowl or it'll come out with dark skin, not touching that one. Don't put a bowl on your head or else it'll be wearing the placenta like a hat, too hilarious, and the list goes on. Central to the concept.
What were they like? Hey, Lucy, your baby. Yeah, it's fine and everything. Don't worry. But the placenta is wearing it like a hat. Your baby's wearing your placenta like a hat. And Lucy, or the mother or whatever, is like, huh? I did wear a bowl on my head that one time. That's got to be it. Of course.
Consequences of breaking a lot of these rules is the being known as Sedna. The story behind Sedna varies pretty wildly between different groups of Inuits, but here's the gist of it. She was once a young girl who pissed everyone off, either by being annoying or eating too much food or rejecting an arranged marriage or marrying a dog for some reason. So her father throws her out of a kayak, and when she tries to get back in, he chops off all her fingers.
Whoa.
The sea goddess sees this, furrows her long floppy seaweed brow, does a sassy snap, and the girl turns into an immortal sea witch, while her disembodied fingers turn into the first seals.
What?
And to this day, Sedna sits at the bottom of the ocean, growing new fingers which promptly fall off and turn into all the world's seal lions and narwhalruses. That is until someone goofs up in some small arbitrary fashion like, yo Sedna, bad news, I just caught a guy chewing a piece of blubber. What's wrong with that? Well, he wasn't looking north while he did it. Are you fucking kidding me? In his defense, he was standing right on the pole, so he literally couldn't look anywhere but south. He could have moved! That's it! No more fingy foods for 3 moons! Another fun creation myth is how the moon and sun came to be. So long ago, there were these 2 siblings named Melina and Iningin. The 2 got along just fine as kids, but as the 2 got older, they were put into their respective genders' living areas and saw each other less and less. Then one day, Iningin got the feeling that his lower nose was in dire need of some Eskimo kisses. So that night, he snuck into the women's lodges, saw his sister, thought, I pick that one, and proceeded to do, unspeakable things, technically becoming his own Eskimo brother. But it was too dark at the time for Melina to tell what happened. The next night, Ningin's like, I'll fucking do it again. Only this time, Melina smears soot all over his face. So later, she goes over to the men's lodges, and who has crap all over his face but her brother? This makes her so mad that she cuts off her own breasts with a knife, puts them in a bowl, throws them at Ningin, and says, if you enjoy me so much, then here, eat 'em. Go ahead, eat my disembodied, quivering titties. She runs off into the night with a torch, and Iningin is really remorseful or horny or something, so he chases after her with his own torch, and they end up running so fast that they took off like a plane into the sky, and Melina became the sun while Iningin became the moon. Excuse me, Mrs. Elder, if the sun and moon didn't exist yet, how did he do that stuff at night when there was no night? Now, some details of the story are tied into real-world phenomena. Some say that Iningin tripped and messed up his torch, which is why the moon is so dim. And the moon cycles are because he gets really skinny from chasing after her for so long. And the new moon is when he goes away for a few days to hunt seals so he can fatten back up. But here's the kicker. Nobody ever explains what the whole lopping off her tits part was supposed to represent. That's entirely just creative liberty. Just like, yes, that's why the sun doesn't have tits. Probably for the best it doesn't, otherwise half the population will be blind by now, and worse, it's the half that makes up 85% of my viewer base. So you know what? Thanks for slicing and dicing them tea towels, Melina. I kinda owe you my career. But as for you, your eyes are valuable. You should treat them to something more substantial and informative. Like, say, a library of high-quality exclusive documentaries. Sponsor time. Curiosity Stream was founded by the dude behind the...
Dude, Sam, you're awesome. You're amazing. I can't believe I hadn't seen that one yet. That was one of your crazier ones, and that's saying something. Yeah, that was amazing. I'll make another one, especially guys, just 2 likes, please. I got 1 like my last one. That was amazing. My goal is 2. Step by step, build this channel. And any suggestions down in the comments, if you could please subscribe, that'd be amazing. Definitely subscribe to Salmonella Academy. Hilarious. You will definitely enjoy them, and you won't be able to stop watching them. I'll put a link to his original video down in the description. So that was amazing. I'll see if I can make another one the next few days. Maybe I'll try Oversimplified. That's another great channel I like. Maybe I'll try. There's a bit longer though, so be a bit more time to make. But yeah, see you guys next time. All right.